Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roll20 Presents Pathfinder Playtest. Let's get bit by an undersand creature. So, I was looking at the rules, and I'm very excited. I now know what a 30-foot cone looks like, and you're all going to get sprayed with acid. Except Berard. Berard is not going to get sprayed with acid. So,
Yay!
as its first action, the Ankrav bursts up out of the sand and then just horks a spray of flesh-dissolving acid in a cone that goes out here and just everybody in here. So what I need from the three of you is a reflex save, a DC 17 reflex save, as you get acid spewed all over you.
Boom.
Okay, all right. So Lydia gets a 19, Plunderfist gets a 20. Unfortunately, Parzel is going to take the full damage. So it's 3d6 acid damage. It's half if you get a if you succeeded. So 3d6 acid. Oh, all right. 16 damage to Parzel, 8 to both of the other two. Sprays out like a car wash of bile. And then 1d4 persistent acid damage for everybody. And I think this is halved as well with the successful save. So okay, all right. So Parsley will take just take one more, and then it goes away next turn.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's its first action. And then I think it will make a melee bite attack with its mandibles against you both have the same armor class. Let's do Plunderfist. So Plunderfist, here comes the mandibles.
I don't want it.
Ooh!
You suck. I hate you.
So you get critically mandibled. So
it looks like Plunderfist is in demandables.
Mandibles. They're like Lunchables, but for men.
Oh, it's so good. It's like real though.
Yeah, I can see they come in a black package with like a sports on them, or like somebody lifting a weight. They're very masculine. So Plunderfist, you're gonna take some damage. I haven't rolled a crit in ages. What do I double here?
Get
Everything. Okay, 2d6 plus 8 piercing damage. Chomp. So you take 15 piercing damage, and another 2d6 acid damage.
Ow.
Another 6 acid. So it just like the mandibles, they slice into you, and there's your own blood, and there's acid, and you're getting acid in your wounds, and it's not fun. It hurts. It's not the good kind of acid. It's the bad kind that kills you. And that's its turn. Brard, you see all of this from like sand eye level, your little head sticking up out of the quicksand. Would you like to attempt to escape? You're like, no, I'll just let the quicksand take me.
The sweet embrace of quicksand is a nicer death than mandible acid.
Yeah. Mandible acid sounds like that's a cool D&D character name too. It's right out there with Dusty Void. So Berard, even with the assist, you are sinking fast. It's gonna be time to take a deep breath real soon. Parzel, there's a huge monster that just sprayed acid all over you and your friends.
Acid all over me.
You're just covered in it.
Okay, is Plunderfist in its mouth?
I mean, that's what it would like to happen. They're negotiating that situation right now.
Okay.
The Ankrav is like, get in my mouth so I can kill and eat you. And Plunderfist is like, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for this commitment to being dead.
Yeah, since that's where we're at, I'm going to take a step.
Sorry.
But try to, I guess, away from the quicksand. So I guess I'm taking my step to here.
Okay.
And then I want to cast Flaming Sphere.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to make a giant rolling ball of persistent fire that I can roll over this horrible, horrible creature from what planet? What planet are those from? From Nechak,
Okay, cool. Into
the
it.
Nechakian that's here.
Right. You're like, how did it get here? I like how your character is secretly like one of the men in black.
Yeah. It's
You're
just,
just
what is it doing here?
You just pull out your big silver gun and just blast the thing.
This alien is not supposed to be here. Flaming sphere, flaming sphere. Let me find you.
Who doesn't love a good flaming sphere?
Almost there.
Probably the
There we
person getting it to the face.
One thing I like about the way that the book is set up, the PDF of the book is set up, is that for most of the entries for the actual spells, the name is in all caps. So if you do a Control F for it, there's only one time where the spell shows up in all caps.
Oh,
And
thank you.
that's the
That's
spell.
so useful.
I know, I just
Okay.
figured that out. I was like, Flaming Sphere shows up like 15 times, but there's only one entry that has the
That has
full
all caps.
name of the spell. It makes it so easy to find. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you
So-
create a sphere. You want to create a sphere of flame within
It's
30
a
feet.
5-foot thing, so I'm gonna do it right over the buddy, right over this.
Yeah. Okay.
right
let
over
me
this
find.
bug.
Let me find a cool token for. I wonder if I can just
If you
look up-
put the flaming sphere here, and I move over here, can I flank it?
It doesn't. I don't think it attacks. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that it's the same thing.
You gotta dodge
Um,
the flaming sphere. You gotta dodge being punched.
Okay. So where do you want to put it? Here, there,
Yeah, or no, the back corner.
right there. Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Man,
And,
that would suck. You're
fine.
just hanging out in your sandy lair, waiting for food. You pop out. You're like, delicious. My food is here. My DoorDash has arrived, and you start eating, and then all of a sudden you're on fire.
There's just a
huge-
little meteor rolling.
yeah,
over
just
the
a
marble.
horrific ball of fire that will
Uh-huh.
not stop.
So it makes a reflex save.
All right, let's see how reflexive this Ancrav is. To answer your earlier question, Elf, this creature is both an Ancrav and an Ankeg. In the bestiary, it says Ancrav brackets
Oh.
Ankeg.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. So this.
So I was right. It
yeah.
is an ANK.
So this bad boy, reflex save of +6. What's the DC on the?
Boop-a-doop-a-doo. So it is a level 2 spell. My
It doesn't
daily,
matter. It super doesn't matter. He's like, "What's the DC?" Don't even worry about it.
No.
Your ass is on fire. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much damage does it deal?
So it takes full damage, so 3d6.
Nice. Roll that 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't order a giant ball of fire. Whoa!
This is a way spicier of an order than I.
I said mild, mild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's extreme. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Worked
It's
out.
just- they don't understand that like Pepper's rating system.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I want more. That's more
I
food.
actually
Yeah, more
think.
peppers,
Oh,
please.
you know what? Roll one more d6. Update 1.5 increased flaming sphere to 4d6 initial damage.
Oh, you're right. It did.
Yeah. So rip it down another d6.
Not 6. I see that.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there we go.
all right. This is a little guy. And
But if you were rolling for stats, that would still be a fantastic
That's right.
46.
Keep the change, you filthy animal. All right, so you flaming sphere the creature. He takes his full damage. Let's see. You cannot concentrate on the spell to move it this turn, but once per round, when you concentrate, you can roll this round. So you have one more action if there's something. Oh, you moved first, so you're done.
I moved. I took
Perfect.
the steps, so we're
Yeah.
good. Mhm.
Okay, awesome. All right, Lydia, it is your turn.
All right, I marked the Ankeg as my hunted target with my hunter's move. thing.
Okay,
And then I shoot it in the head
okay.
with a crossbow that I quick draw because I have quick draw.
Because
so
I can do that.
It appears in my hand. It doesn't cost me any actions to get out.
Blammo.
Blam!
Oh yeah, you hit it for sure.
22 for 7 damage.
All right. You
And
hit
then
the thing for 7.
I will,
Okay.
of course, take a step this way
Okay.
and reload my crossbow.
Excellent. You do that. All right, cool. So the quicksand, it is the quicksand's turn. So on the quicksand's turn, I believe that our boy Berard goes under. So you are now submerged, and you have to hold your breath to avoid suffocation. Let's see what that looks like.
Uh-oh.
Normally, suffocating takes so long in these sorts of situations that you'll just hold your breath for the rest of the fight as you sink deeper and deeper into the sand. Here you go. While suffocating, you cannot recover from being unconscious. You make a DC. Okay, you're not suffocating yet. What's your Constitution score?
14.
14. Okay. All right. And we didn't know this rule on your turn. You would normally have to have done it, but I'm gonna say because you didn't know. I assume on your turn you would have taken the after you failed your action, you would have taken the breathe deep action. Because that's like you literally are like take a big deep breath and then get sucked underneath.
Okay.
Which doubles your Constitution score.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So 28.
Okay, so that's how many actions you can hold your breath for. You can still try to struggle to get free or swim around in the quicksand if you succeed. You just haven't succeeded yet, so I haven't been able to tell you your options. So 28 actions worth.
Okay.
And you're at the bottom. You can't get like more sucked under in the quicksand. Basically there's layers to it. There's like waist,
It's like an onion.
waist, neck, under. And once you're under, it doesn't continue. It's not like now you're 47 levels of under. You're just under the water. Okay.
I was going to say,
crap.
otherwise this
It's
is
a
more
very deep
quicksand
quicksand.
puddle. If it was just like, yep, okay, Brad's submerged, and somebody else just walks over and is like, there you go.
Yeah. You step into a pile of quicksand that happens to be 8 miles deep, and it's just a column of quicksand that sinks into the core of the
real
earth.
trick is when you step into the quicksand and then you fall out the bottom of the quicksand into the secret cavern filled with treasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured
Or,
that's-
or it's a quicksand tunnel between here and the other side of the earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not very quick though. It's
No.
over on
Listen, the
travel.
NKIG transit system has a lot of kinks to work
Yes,
out. So.
hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah. Okay,
Although
good. So
pancakes would make fantastic sewer diggers if you could
Mhm.
like domesticate them.
you'd want to get like a bunch of kobolds as overseers and then
For
have
the
them
Ankegs,
have
yeah.
them control the NKIGs as like boring machines.
Yeah, totally.
I
Oh
don't-
my god, I'm gonna steal that.
I
I'm
don't
stealing-
know if
stealing
NKIGs
it right
leave.
now.
There's like two kinds of burrowing, right? There's the one where the tunnel collapses behind
No,
them.
they
and then there's
definitely
the,
leave caves behind because in
Yeah.
anything that I've seen of pancakes, they always have like a lair.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then you
Yeah.
go in it. And there's, like,
Cool. Yeah, right. And then you need bugbears to control the kobolds, and you gotta
I
get
mean,
orcs
the
to control the
other thing
bugbears.
about
And this is
NKIGs
how we get the caves of chaos. So,
I'm really looking forward to seeing where the rest of the ankegs are because there's never just one fucking ankeg.
all right,
anyway.
Plunderfist, it is your turn. You're dripping with acid, and there's an NK.
Wait, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was the quicksand's turn. You took your breath, and then
Oh.
yeah. So we'll get to you. So it goes Plunderfist, the Ancrab, and then you'll get
Okay.
to go.
Cool. No, sorry. I
Yeah,
missed
it's cool. That's fine. Plunderfist, what would you like to do?
Well, since I don't know if it can breathe again, I will use my mobility feat to take the stride action
Okay.
up to half my movement.
Okay.
Without providing an attack.
Let me
Or movement.
check. Hang on. Let me check on whether the sand is difficult terrain or not, because I know that this is a difficult terrain kind
Oh,
of
okay,
adventure.
sure.
Radius patch quicksand. It does not look like it is. No, it is not difficult terrain.
Okay, move.
Okay.
And then I begin punching.
Okay. Yeah. So you dance on over there. Nice.
27 a hit. Is 27 a crit?
No, it is not. It's definitely a
Okay.
hit though.
All right, 13 damage on the first punch.
Okay.
And I'll give the second one. a
Don't
shot.
worry about the second one. Your fist just goes through its shell, and
Oh,
you yank your fist down. Its guts come out, and it's dead. It's
wow,
a big,
that was a powerful flaming sphere. Okay.
it's a big dead bug. Yeah, that flaming sphere just wrecked the thing.
Yeah. Okay, so with the other action, has the rope gone under with Brad?
Yeah, yes, sure, I think so.
Okay, I can't do it this time, but I want to move back over to where my rope was to try and like hold it again in case he needs
Right. Yeah, I got it.
assistance next time.
Okay.
So I can't
All right. So the Ancrav is just like a mess on the ground. It's very dead. Berard, now you can make your athletics check to try to escape.
Okay, so can I? The last couple turns, it's like if I failed my athletics check, I've also lost my turn.
Yeah, it's like it is your turn. Is that athletics check? If you are if you're submerged, you can attempt a DC 18 athletics check to swim to raise yourself 1 step or move 5 feet if you are submerged only up to your waist. If you're submerged to your waist, you can do anything that requires like your hands. And then if you're submerged to your neck, you can still talk, but you can't really use your arms. And then when you're under, there's nothing to be done.
Okay. All right.
But I'm assuming you like cling on to the. Hey, there you go. Okay. So do you want to? Yeah. You're not drowning anymore.
Okay.
We see Berard's little head burst up out of the quicksand, taking a deep breath. And like you can see your friends. There's a burning sphere over there. The Ancrav is dead and being slowly cooked by it. But yeah, you burst up. So if there's anything that you want to do that requires just speaking, spells with verbal components, anything like that, you can. Otherwise, you gotta wait for your next turn to get yanked out.
Can I roll a perception to see if I can tell where the end of the quicksand is?
Yeah, you can do that with your eyeballs.
Because I don't think there's anything else I can do that would be beneficial.
Just get out there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. No, the sand is everywhere. Some of it is quicker than others. Parzel, you've just incinerated the living hell out of this creature, but you still got this flaming sphere. I don't know if it's going to help anything, but you want to concentrate on it? Or
Yeah, I'm going to concentrate on that and maintain it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that they do kind of appear in packs. So what if there's another one? I don't
Yeah, you don't have to recast it.
Mm-mm.
Totally makes sense.
Yep. So I will do that. Do I have to actively do anything to concentrate on this?
It takes an action.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Easily
And on
done.
that action, you also get to move it if you want. You want to roll it around at all, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it slightly in this direction. Oh, I can't grab it. I wanted to drag it south.
Yeah, I wonder if I can here. I think I can just give it to you. Controlled by. There you go. It's your own very own fireball. Feel free to rip
Roll over to Broad.
grab onto the flaming sphere. Just burn his arms off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor little guy. So you want to move it? You want to move it like this direction? I think you move it 20 feet. I think is the thing.
If this is difficult terrain?
No, it's not.
No.
You just roll it around there.
I'm gonna move it to there. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to attempt. I think. Can I use survival to try to tell where things are going on, like the edges here, or is it only perception?
You can. Are you trained in survival?
I believe I am. Yes.
Okay. Yes. If you're trained in survival, you can make a survival check to attempt to like disturb the surface and be able to see it better.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that.
Oh hell yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So that makes it visible to everybody, not just you.
Heck yeah.
There's the quicksand. That's the boundaries. It's perfectly cube shaped. That's the quicksand there. It's about that approximate area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So then I'm gonna go to the edge to be ready to help.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, move, concentrate, and okay, perfect. Lydia.
I am going to ready myself for further ankegs because I know there's going to be more ankegs. So I'm just doing that thing people do when they have a weapon that shoots things, just looking around, pointed at stuff.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, can I like ready an action to shoot something if it shows up?
Yeah, I think how does it work? You just say when this happens, I'm gonna do.
When an ankeg that isn't dead appears, I will shoot it.
Right, and it moves your action to that thing.
No.
How does it work, Dave?
Ready is just an if then. You prepare to use an action that will occur outside your turn.
Perfect.
It takes 2 actions and it counts as concentrating, so you can't ready and concentrate on a spell at the same time, which
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't
Totally.
think on 2 things.
I also like that because if you're concentrating, you get hit, right? I love the idea of concentrating on a ready action because you're like, I'm ready, and then someone punches you in the head. You're like, I'm less ready now because I just got punched in the head.
Well, it's like XCOM where you get shot and your Overwatch fucking goes
Right.
away.
Exactly. And you're on Overwatch right now. Perfect. All right. So if you see an ANKEG, and take the shot.
A non-dead ANKEG.
Okay.
Clarifying.
Looking around. Oh, it's that one.
Okay. So the quicksand on its turn. Now this is interesting. Let's talk these rules out. So here's how the rotating quicksand situation works, right? So on its action, the quicksand pulls down each creature that is within it. A creature that was submerged up to its waist becomes submerged to its neck. If you are submerged to your neck, you're pulled under and has to hold its breath to avoid suffocation. On its turn, a creature in the quicksand can attempt a DC 18 athletics check to swim, to raise itself up by 1 step, or move 5 feet if it's submerged only up to its waist. On a critical failure, it's pulled down a step. A creature that swims out of the quicksand escapes the hazard and is prone in an adjacent space. However, if it pulls you down 1 every time, you're just going to go back and forth. Like, how do you get out? Quicksand, why?
It's not like you can rely on people to have the capacity to get whatever it is, like a 26 to crit, right?
And that's the other thing. It doesn't actually say on a crit you emerge twice. You just, I'm like that's the logical conclusion, right? The logical thing here is that obviously a crit pulls you up 2, but that would be a 28.
If we could make the checks on our turns, it might make sense, right? Because we'd throw in ropes and stuff to help pull up.
Exactly. Like one person can help, but as written, there's no like you pull your friend out. And I think maybe that's the way to do it, is that if you are adjacent to them, you can make that check in their favor instead of just aiding them. I think that makes sense.
I mean, but couldn't you, I mean, if you're throwing a rope and the rope is like around the person, then couldn't you ostensibly still pull even though you're not adjacent from them?
and that's the question. Like, would throwing a rope to someone, I mean, I guess this is the thing. Can you pull someone out of quicksand with a rope? Because I know that normally the way to do it is they lay down, like you would lay down an object, and then they like flop onto it, like a door or like, something big and flat that breaks that like flattens out the surface.
Supposed to carry a walking stick, and if you go on your back on a stick across the distance of it, it can't pull the thing.
Right. Yeah. Because it's like a non-Newtonian like surface, right, where it's like kind of solid and you like slip into it. It's just interesting as a trap. If you walk into quicksand alone, you will never escape, or even with friends, as written. So
like there's no way we can get Brard out. I
think people with ropes can, now that you know where the sand is, you can all just stand next to it and like try to yank him out. And I think that's reasonable to allow other people to make that athletics check to like pull them free. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's less about trying to be realistic about the quicksand and more not making it be like an instant death trap you can never escape from.
Waiting for it to just say like, okay, you've walked into quicksand, so step 1 of creating a new character.
Yeah, right. Turn to page 6.
Right.
It's more about the game balance and like representing what the quicksand is intended to do. And I think it's honestly like suffocating in quicksand, if you're with friends in this game, is less than a thing. And I guess that's so Martin brings up in chat an interesting point, and kind of the reason why we stopped to like talk about this stuff is because it's interesting and we're talking about the rules. It doesn't say how many actions it costs, right? All it says is on its turn, a creature in the quicksand can attempt a check. Can you do that 3 times? If so, that's how you get out of quicksand. And it's just not clear. You only sink if you get crit fails or every time the quicksand takes its turn. I think probably that's the intended thing, is that you get to do 3 of these checks every turn, if that's all you do.
Since it's a combat encounter, technically, then you have 3 actions. And if it doesn't list it in the thing as having 3 diamonds on it.
And it doesn't list it as having any diamonds is the thing. So what it should probably say is like clearly that's an action. It should say like on its turn,
Yes.
a creature in quicksand can attempt little diamond to pull itself out. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's handle it that way going forward, because this is for now at least to the the extra ankeg show up that everybody's waiting for. That's the thing. So we'll start doing 3.
There is 1000% at least 3 more ankegs.
I don't want that to be true.
I'm just calling it now.
Yeah, I mean all the traps in the game, Zir, all the traps in the game have like an initiative when they act if they're persistent traps. That's just part of how like hazards work in Pathfinder.
I feel like I do see where Lucius is coming from though. Like it makes sense that you wouldn't be able to just like, because it feels like if you have 3 actions and there's 4 levels of being submerged, then theoretically in one turn I could just be like, okay, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's quicksand. So it seems like it would be less intimidating that way.
Well,
but
and I also think too, like it's one of those things where it's interesting because it's a 20 by 20 patch of quicksand, and you ostensibly you're not going to fall in more than 5 feet from the edge, right? Like we would not have started the quicksand encounter out here. Like you get across 10 feet of it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, quicksand. I guess if you fell from above,
swim in the opposite direction,
right?
Yeah.
Like you would notice right away. Yeah, why would? Yeah, you'd never be more than 5 feet from the edge of the pool of quicksand.
Mm-hmm. I guess if you were like fully submerged and just trying to pull your way out, then somebody might say like you have to roll whatever to determine like what way. Like if you're stuck underwater and you don't know which way is up, then when you swim, sometimes you like swim in the wrong direction. So I could see doing that, and then you're like, oh, I thought I'd come up here, but now I came up over here because whatever.
Yeah.
Which could be garbage, and I don't recommend it right now.
Yeah, right. Don't do that. Like I got my check, and then the GM is like, too bad.
Right.
You went the wrong
Turns out
direction.
your life is about to get worse.
Yeah, turns out you were trying to go to Staten
You know
Island,
when
and
you
here you are in New
succeeded-
Jersey.
You know when you succeeded things in RPGs and then you still don't get a success?
Ooh.
Feels good.
Oh, the worst. The absolute worst. But it's a thing that happens. Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing. Like we continue doing the turn order. Yeah, like the thing is, it has a this is again just to finish with the quicksand thing. Christoph pointed out you only sink in the quicksand's turn. That's not true. The quicksand has a reaction called submerge, and it triggers when a huge or smaller creature walks onto the quicksand. It's immediately pulled into its waist. Then the quicksand rolls initiative, which is what we did, right? It was like it took its reaction. You walk into it, and then it does the thing. Okay, so you would.
I'm huge.
A huge or smaller.
Oh, huge or smaller.
Yeah, because if you're, I mean, the idea is if you're bigger
That
than
makes
huge,
sense.
it's just like a foot on the quicksand.
just-
You're just like,
right,
forget you, quicksand.
right.
Otherwise, this would be a great way to kill like a Tarask. Like, cool, it just gets stuck and it sinks
Huger or
in.
larger, it just sinks and cannot get out.
And it can only make one athletics check a turn.
You know, I
so.
imagine a Tarask's athletics checks are pretty.
So let's do a round and
Trask turns
see.
Page 6.
Let's do a round and see what happens if you have 3 athletics checks at DC 18.
Okay.
Let's see if you get out in a single turn, right? So, okay. So Plunderfist, on your turn, what are you going to do? Grab the rope and make an athletics check to help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're not doing the pulling.
Yeah, you can't. Let's assume you can't make a roll for someone else.
All right, yeah, I'll try and assist them. There we go.
Okay. All right. So you get a +2, Brad, on your next attempt. Okay, Brad. Now let's do it the way where if you have 3 actions, so you can make an athletics
All right.
check 3 times with a +2.
Here we go.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. Still in over your head.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Okay.
Actually,
Wait,
that one.
17?
That one. Yeah, that one gets you. So now you go from submerged to your neck. On the next turn, you're gonna get sucked back under.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
This is the struggle.
So Parzel and Lydia can't really do anything to help because you can only get 1 +2
I
circumstance.
keep on
points.
Ankeg watch.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. All right. And Parzel, you're gonna keep the. Do you want to move the sphere around some more? You're muted, Cat. Unless you're
Yeah,
just moving your mouth and not saying anything, in which case,
No,
stop
I
trolling me.
was mumbling up to 30. I was counting.
Yeah, sure.
So I think I can move the sphere to here. I'm gonna move it here.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. I guess the
It's a
sphere,
very exciting turn.
the sphere wouldn't sink into the quicksand because it's not literally. It has no weight. It's fire.
No, it's gonna make glass. It's just making.
Yeah, just cook up.
Yeah, is
the
it like a
snack.
tumbleweed made of fire? Is it touching the
Uh-huh.
ground, or is it just
Definitely.
hovering above the ground?
Could you put it over the quicksand and just have it continually make glass?
Make glass for you to crawl out.
Well, and that's the thing. What's the temperature at which? Let me see. Let's see. Melt sand temperature.
I'm surprised that this isn't included in the rule book.
Right. Let's see. What's the melting point of glass? Let's see. Oh, it's really hot. Like really hot. It's somewhere in the range of like 1500 degrees Celsius.
Yeesh. Okay.
Eat is what you meant. Oh. No, I don't know what eat means. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, it says here, you need temperatures, I think probably much higher than
much higher than my little.
because the flaming sphere is just like it's not 1500 degrees Celsius.
Nope.
That
No.
would because that would immediately like light the air on fire around it. Basically, if you cast it in a house, the house would immediately begin burning down.
No, it's just a little tumbleweed of fire.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's hanging out
a hot
down here.
fire. How much we can measure it. How much damage does a if you burn someone with a torch do? 1d6? It's as hot as 4 torches.
Mhm.
There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the hottest It's hot as concentrated 4 torches. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. If you had 4 torches and you made them into a sphere and rolled them around, it's very hot. It's damaging hot, but it's not like, yeah. Okay.
Definitely set things in a house on fire still, though.
Yeah.
That's a
This
thing.
sounds like the best game of Katamari Damacy.
Right. It's like Katamari, but instead of picking things up, you ignite them in a horrible flame. Hey, look at that cute dog over there. Hey, look at these guys. Good. Katamari apocalypse. I like it. All right. So the quicksand yanks you back under. Plunderfist, you are going to roll to help.
Certainly will.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then Berard, make your 3 checks.
Okay.
So you go. You are submerged. You remain submerged.
Nope.
Okay. No.
Wow.
You're already at the bottom. So here's the other thing. We've gotten caught in a time loop here where you'll never be under long enough that you'll suffocate.
Yep.
But you'll also never escape. So you'll die of starvation or thirst.
this is my favorite trap and not totally
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So I think at this point we can all agree that instead of Berard being caught indefinitely between in the quicksand and not in the quicksand, we can just say eventually your friends pull you out of the quicksand.
I'll roll it. Maybe roll a d4 for how many hours it takes.
I mean, this is what happens, right? It's a bug. It's just a bug. This was also a bug, but it's just a bug in the mechanics of the trap, right? So it's like that's why we playtest things, because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, we found a place where the game just gets locked in an infinite loop of
Oh.
submerging and being returned to the quicksand.
I have a question. How are we getting, like, are you sending them like weekly stuff of like, hey, this is.
I think like I've been making some notes about like stuff that comes up, and this is definitely a thing that I will directly report. But also I know that the folks at Paizo check out the show, and they
Cool.
see what's happening, so they get exposed to it too. And it's just like we were talking about at the beginning, right? It's like watching someone playtest a thing that you made. It's like, cool, all right. But I wonder, it's like this is a main feature of this adventure, and I totally want to go and like look up other people's, because there's got to be a thread somewhere about
I'm
like
doing it right
You're
now.
right about like what is the deal with this GD quicksand? I am confused about the eternal loop of being sucked into the quicksand. And
Turns
then
out finding good feedback actually here is very difficult. So as long as we endeavor to
Are
have
you on Reddit or something?
I imagine
I'm on
most
the
of the
forums.
feedback, because Paizo has they have their own forums, right? And
Yeah,
they have,
most
like,
of the
forums.
feedback is either this is how we changed it, or it was fine, but then they don't explain how they
Why
fixed
it
it,
was
or
fine.
like
Right.
what interpretations of how many actions it took per turn to fix things.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that the swim action counts as you moving 5 feet out of it and going up a level. But I don't
Right.
know.
No, it's a swim action to go up or over. I think it's interesting that some of the feedback is this is how we changed it. Don't do that. If you're playtesting something, don't they don't want to. It's like, cool. I already rewrote this mechanic for you. It's like, but we wanted to see how it worked the way we
Here's
were.
how we fixed this thing for you.
I mean,
That
but
we
I,
found broke.
No need to thank us.
Yeah, don't thank
One
me.
step back. We're designing.
Your
here.
game is perfect now. I've fixed it. Crossbows deal
Just put me
1d6
in
plus
the
1
credits on the
damage.
next edition.
Yeah, my job here is done.
I guess if I had submitted feedback like that, it would have been like, okay, like by saying this is how we changed it, it implies we couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
So here's a solution that we tried that other people might want to try too, right? Because like at this point, like even though we're running through a playtest, the only way that we can progress through the game is to either roll a new character,
Yeah.
you know, change it ourselves.
Well, and
so
that's
it's like,
yeah, that's the difference, right? Because I think a lot of this feedback is I saw this rule, we didn't encounter it in the game, I just changed it because I didn't like it. Or I thought I knew better. And it's like, no, you have to see it in action before you understand. And like, yeah, a solution, like the feedback here would be, we got to the pit, the trap, the quicksand trap, and then we got stuck in an infinite loop of never being able to escape the trap, but also, so we just said, forget it. We don't want to engage this thing anymore. You're free. Let's move on. Rather than saying like, I looked at the quicksand and instead of doing it the way you wrote it, I just was like, it deals 700 damage to anyone who touches it.
It would be more useful to just say, we were unsure as to whether the action was meant to be taken multiple
Right.
times.
Yeah. What was your intent? Yeah.
What was the confusion that we had, and then they can rewrite it.
Totally, yeah. Well, and this is the thing about playtesting in general. Like, if you're playtesting a game, whether it's Pathfinder or any other RPG, and you want to give good feedback, yeah, like the thing that's important is this was the problem. If you offer a solution, it's like, cool, but that's not that useful because it's on the designer to solve the problem in the way that fits with the rest of their design. But just straight up being like, and I think a lot of people feel responsible for that, where they're like, but I have to help you. Like, we're playtesting, I have to help you fix it. And it's like, no, your job is just to be like, broken, it didn't work. Here's exactly how it didn't work.
Yeah.
I've
And like,
wondered.
even if they did want it to be the 3, right? That like
Yeah.
Bard just couldn't consistently make the check, so
Well,
we're stuck.
Yeah, DC 18 is significant for people who don't have athletics trained or
and
don't
especially
have like,
right, I'm
strength.
untrained in athletic.
Yeah, because you're rolling +1, right? On this roll?
-1.
A -1, yeah, because it's +4 and then -4 and then the 1. So yeah,
I wonder, as very slightly tangentially, if you ever had feedback separated by perceived gender role, whether there is the male bias on here's how we fixed your thing and not
right.
because, like socially that would be
Well, and
interesting.
that's again,
Interesting,
and
yeah.
that's absolutely part of why when you're playtesting or you want feedback on anything, having a nice, broad, diverse set of people will give you a bunch of different experience levels and a bunch of
Here's-
different like emotional
another-
responses to stuff.
Here's another potential solution for our problem. I tie a rope to a crossbow bolt, and then I shoot Brard.
Okay.
And we do this like a harpoon gun. Just pull Brard up, which
Pull him.
because that way we can make athletics
do
checks
you
to
hunt
pull.
the target first? Am I hunted?
Yeah, totally.
Of course.
From
so that
Hell's
it's
grim heart, I
easier-
stab at
It's
thee.
easier to hit you. Okay.
This
Call her Ahab. Yep.
is fine.
Adam, how many hit points
Completely
does the
fine.
sand trap have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch the quote.
I
Can
punched the quicksand.
Can I punch it? No, it is a complex environmental trap.
It's a slight tangential story on that. I
Yeah.
had someone punch a gelatinous cube once.
Mhm.
Didn't go well for them.
No,
It was
yeah,
like-
no, that's
like,
not a
I
good call.
Superman punched the oh shit!
Yep. Yeah. No, and I think it's interesting. I like the way that it does hazards in this. I think that's a cool thing. And I think the structure of the encounter is neat. That idea of like somebody gets sucked into the quicksand and then it gets more complicated because the other people are trying to help, but now they can't because they got to fight the big monster. It would have been more complex if somebody hadn't just like burned it to death instantly. But
Yeah.
you know what? Sometimes these things happen. But yeah, it's pretty cool like seeing the way those mechanisms interact. I thought it was, despite the fact that the actual like escaping thing ended up being kind of broken. Yeah, I would love to hear like if you are the person or persons responsible for this quicksand trap, at me on Twitter. I want to know, what was the intent? How did we misinterpret the text, or like what was the deal? Because I'm super curious. I would love to talk about it more.
Though I will also admit that there is something slightly humorous about the idea of like stuck in quicksand, giant monster is torched and punched, and then we just like look back and it's still just like
yeah, right, just bobbing up and down on the surface of the quicksand.
Monster's completely dealt with.
It's just like laying in a giant corpse heap on not quicksand.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we just like watch the sun go down as Briar's continue.
Please help me. You throw him some water, some food, and he keeps. Yeah, you could be there forever. I'm curious, Dave. Do me a favor. Roll. Let's imagine that Plunderfist fell into this trap. Roll an athletics check for me. So you walk in, you get sucked into waist level. Okay, then you just walk out. You just swim 5 feet. You're prone on the edge. Okay. I think it's the combination of like the difficulty of the check, the lack of athletics, and then no one can help you, but also you'll never really drown because you can just.
And to be clear,
28.
it is incredibly hard to have a +9 in athletics.
That's true. You're very you're
so difficult.
Yeah, you're very, very stacked. Yeah. So like, how many? Let me see. How many rounds? Because suffocation, you would have to be submerged. You have to fail. What was yours? 28. If you take a deep breath, if you know you're about to go under, if you have that opportunity, that's 9 rounds you would have to fail without ever succeeding once.
I mean, at this rate,
it's possible, but again, it depends on if you're getting 3 checks or 1 a turn. If you get 3 checks a turn, there's almost no way for you to never have an opportunity to take another deep breath. I think that you're proving me wrong right now. Like,
This is so grim.
Watch me drown.
okay.
No, that was a fail. It's 18. But I guess if you have help,
It's still a fail.
that's still a fail if you were alone.
Wait, 16 is still.
Yeah, it's an 18, a DC 18.
Wait, but I've. Oh God, you're right.
And this would be
Without the
just-
rope. Yeah, because you would have.
Do the last one.
All right.
You
hold
better
on.
not.
Well, wait, no, this isn't rounds. Don't I get 3?
It's
per
you lose
round? So I would
3
get-
ticks. You lose 3 ticks because it's actions. It's 1 action for each. 3 actions per round, and you have 28 actions worth. If
Right,
you
I was
like,
gonna say, so this should be
take a
this
deep
should be round
6,
3.
7, 8.
This is round 3.
yeah.
That's 3.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
4.
4.
But you don't even die instantly after that. I'll look up how
Oh,
suffocation
5.
works.
At the end of round
Okay.
5.
Right.
we
So like the
finally get
chances
air to
of
do it all
you.
over.
Yeah, that if you take a deep breath before you go under, which you almost invariably would do because you try to get free, you realize you can't, you take the deep breath in case you get submerged above your head, and then you try to
Right.
get out after that.
I still think the returning crossbow is the best strategy for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're eventually
Yeah,
pulled
unless I
free.
forgot to take the deep breath, in which case I'm dead.
Yes, if you forget to take the deep breath, it's just your constitution in actions, which is what, like 3 or 4 rounds, depending on
14. Well, yeah, because it's 14. So
14
that would
actions,
be
yeah.
3.5 rounds, but it took me to the end of round 5.
how. But that's just till you run out of breath, right? Like when the suffocation
Wait, there's
rule.
still more suffering after.
That's just the like.
Because you're gonna take like suffocation damage.
Damage.
Yes. Yeah. So each time you take an attack or manipulate action, you lose 2 actions worth of air. Oh yeah, right. If you're like thrashing around doing things, then you lose your, and then a verbal action costs you all your remaining air. When you run out of air, you fall unconscious or suffocating. You make a DC 20 fortitude save at the end of each turn. On a failure, you take 1d10 damage. Each check after the first, the DC goes up by 5 and the damage increases by 1d10. If your access to air is restored, you stop suffocating and are no longer unconscious unless you already are at 0. So basically just keeps dealing you a bunch of d10s.
Sure.
Of
And if
damage.
I didn't have like the rope wrapped around me or something, because I wouldn't be able to get.
Yeah, you'd be
myself-
unconscious.
can't
Yeah,
breathe.
and then you just like, so it would be between 3 and 9 rounds for your character under the sand,
Mhm.
and then not that long of taking d10s because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 as you go, and the check gets
Right.
harder and harder as you inhale lungfuls of sand.
Yep.
Interesting.
You know what's not very good for breathing?
Sand?
Sand.
Yeah, totally.
Sand does not provide you with the oxygen you need.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Yeah, you just fill your lungs with sand and you're good to go. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. I'm curious if other people have experience with this trap, and if you change it, or if you find a thread, if somebody finds a thread about like the quicksand trap in Shadow Pale Mountain, like aim it at me. I'm super curious. But for now, to avoid the Berard is trapped in the sand for all of eternity. Jesus, can you imagine if you were an elf and you got trapped in there, or like a warforged or some shit? You'd be in that sand for literally ever. You would just never.
we spent enough time talking about it that he may as well have been in it.
Yeah, but I mean, again, the point is not to blast through it fast, but to like talk about these things.
I'm like just trying to make the.
Yeah, I understand. So you're free, Berard. You're escaped from the quicksand.
Yeah.
Hooray! What? It does not appear that any further Ancrav incursion is going to occur. I know, right? I thought so too. I looked it up. I was like,
I really wanted to shoot another one.
Yeah. Check out
I've never gotten to round 2 on a creature yet, so I haven't been able to do my cool swap the
crossbow. I have two different tokens for the
Ancrav. Shit!
I got a standy boy.
I have a question again about bulk. So,
yeah, let's talk about bulk.
Yeah. So what about 5 bulk? What's that?
Skull's best friend. Let's see.
Damn it, Adam! I was gonna make that
Boom!
joke.
Got him. All right. So bulk.
Yeah, bulk is what you're supposed to track, but even I haven't bothered doing it.
Me neither.
Based on the amount of items that you're carrying.
I'm definitely over my limit because
so
I have
bulk in this is encumbrance.
Okay.
So you build up an amount of bulk based on all the items you're schlepping around.
Right.
Predominantly your armor.
So if someone were to
small.
say like, get in there, not be able to get out, but keep going, bobbing up and down, and we were like, drop all of your stuff, and then I swapped out a spell to make my floating disc show up.
Oh yeah. What can floating disc carry?
Oh, hey.
It can carry 5 bulk of.
I don't know. So listen, a person.
Is that like a person? Yeah.
Right. So you become an the first thing I found here is petrified. You become an object with bulk equal to twice your normal bulk. Oh, here we go. Okay. I can extrapolate. So typically 16 for a petrified medium creature, which would mean typically a medium creature is 8 bulk nude. Which would mean that Berard, a small creature that's petrified, you could lift Berard. Berard is 4 bulk naked.
Okay, cool.
Now we know.
So that's one way we could have done it, but
liftomancy.
But if it wasn't Berard, I still wouldn't be able to.
But I guess the other question about your floating disc though is it like a sieve or is it like a plate? Because if it's a plate, you're lifting Berard and all the sand around him.
Yeah.
And if it's like a sieve, it would
right.
you just shake him out like a cat poop.
I mean, I guess it doesn't say, but it should be.
How permeable is the surface of a liftomantic disc? Yeah. Man.
Okay, we tried.
We tried. Yeah. What are your favorite solutions for escaping from quicksand, everybody?
Dave said on the break, and I quote, "I'm looking up the WikiHow article on how to escape from quicksand."
Yeah. No, I love it. I love this stuff. And I think this is something that if you play enough fantasy RPGs, you end up in this spot eventually where you're just like, cool, we need a really weird out of the box solution to this problem. And then you start looking up physics, and it's like it's like your crossbow trap in Caves of Chaos. Like we spent like an hour talking about how to make that trap work.
It was great.
I know, I love it. I love it.
Tripwires.
Yeah. This today's episode is less actually playing the game and more just like a podcast about quicksand.
I'm now imagining like
episode 2, Quicksand the sequel.
I'm imagining somebody actually trapped in quicksand, and they're like, WikiHow. Oh, WikiHow, you're using it.
WikiHow. No, but they'll also get part 2 of today's episode of the show. Oh no, I'm trapped in this quicksand forever.
Let me just watch this hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long video of Adam, Elf, Cat, Josh and Dave talking about theoretical quicksand escapes.
Yeah, and they're just fucking scrolling through the comments of all these angry people who are like, I tuned in for a role-playing game. What are you doing? Get back to playing the
How
game.
many actions do I have a turn?
Stop talking about the quicksand and play the game. I want RP. Listen, we talked about this from the beginning. This is a weird, very special show, and it's as much about bullshit about the rules as it is actually playing the game. So that's it. There's got to be like a survival TV show about how to escape quicksand.
And it's just a person who's been stuck in quicksand for 2
Right,
years.
yeah, he's
continually
still
bobbing
there.
their head out of
Yeah.
quicksand. Having people periodically.
I walked
throw them,
into
like,
this pool of
princes.
quicksand in 1968. I've
Just
been
feel
here
like
ever
a really
since.
long, silly straw.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't pull you out. But I could throw food at you.
My
It's the
great
world's
grandfather walked into this quicksand, and generations of our family have lived here. I was born in this quicksand, and I'll die in this
It's
quicksand.
the world's worst game of Hungry Hippos,
Yeah,
where you're just
yeah.
like,
Actually,
But I'll die of old age, not of the quicksand.
babies would be able to escape really easily because they have the innate reflexes to both swim and be incredibly buoyant because
Right.
they can hold so
They
much
just
air
float
in
to the
themselves.
surface.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then they undergo, at a certain age, they undergo the sinkening when they stop being infants. And that's when you know that they're ready to join the community of
yes.
people that live in this 20 by 20 pool of quicksand.
How do they keep having babies? They
I
can't.
mean, listen, it's a weird...
I mean, when you're
Family of-
submerged,
Yeah.
like what happens under the sand?
That's right,
stays
thank
under
you.
the sand.
Anything is permitted under the quicksand.
Don't judge. It's a lonely place.
Yeah, yeah. It's a microcosm of 20 by 20 that just forever.
Rard
It's its own
comes out
biosphere.
And a completely changed person. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to talk about it.
It's like the Shawshank Redemption. I don't know if I could survive outside the sand. I can't live that life.
I'm a sand person now.
That's right. I'm in the sand, and the sand is in me. This is where I live. This is where I'm
I
from.
feel its gritty pull.
Love it.
I now no longer feel sympathy for animals. I only care for sand. Stop walking on this desert.
Yeah,
Please.
great. It's
It's
perfect.
inappropriate.
Oh, it's good stuff, man.
Sounds like a Sisyphean Greek tragedy.
It really is. It really is. I feel like you know what? I don't think there's any more to be said. I don't think we can recover from this quicksand thing. I think that's it. I think that's it. We're done. We're done with the episode. There's no point in trying another encounter. This is the quicksand episode.
There really is.
And I love it. I love it to death. And it's great. This is a
This
unique
is my favorite
experience.
episode of an RPG I've ever played. Quicksand episode.
Listen, you tune in, you get the 20 minutes of warm up that some people love. You get like 45 minutes to an hour of role playing and combat, and then you get that sweet hour and 15 minutes of quicksand chat. So thank you for coming, everybody. I cannot wait to see the YouTube comments on this one. Oh boy.
I'm looking forward to it. YouTube, don't let me down. Don't let me down, YouTube.
There's a scene before I wish Blue Chew was choosing clicks.
Yeah, right, exactly. Some fedora wearing fucking jerk. Oh boy. Man, oh boy, this is good stuff. Well, thank you for
They
coming,
were trapped for an
everybody.
eternity in the quicksand, just like we were trapped for an eternity watching this show about
That's right. Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. So this is what we do here on Roll20 Presents Pathfinder Playtest. We play Pathfinder and we talk about quicksand or whatever other rules get up in our business.
Next week, tune in for climbing.
That's right. Yeah. Grappling. Just wait until we have to grapple. I mean, this adventure is about environmental hazards, so I think we're doing the Lord's work. So thank you for coming and hanging out and talking about quicksand and other things. Quicksand and whether or not hyenas are gross to eat. When we're not here doing this, everybody here is like doing other stuff, as you might have heard at the beginning of the show, and I will let them tell you about that. Elf, when you're not suffocating in quicksand, what do you get up to?
Oh, you go to my Twitch channel.
You're perfect, Elf. Never change. Josh, you got a series finale coming up. Where else can people find you on the internet?
Bernard is one with the sand now. So we're wrapping up Tales from the Loop on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. It's the season finale. It's 4 kids who are exploring the town of Galt. There's been a zombie. They found some zombies and are concerned that this is somehow connected to the power plant and a mysterious corporation called Silverton LLC. So if you're interested in seeing how all of that resolves, we've got some really fantastic people on that show. You should swing over there on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Or you can watch the VOD series, which is up on YouTube for Roll20. And then I also do game criticism at intelligame.us, game culture criticism site. You can follow on social media at IntelliGameUs, and we stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Excellent. Thank you. All good stuff to check out. Dave, how about you?
Yeah. Hi. Thank you, everyone. I mean, I wouldn't watch it. I'm paid to be here. Yeah. What else do I do? Dave_the_human on Twitter. I was gonna try and hook up my capture card for Smash, and I didn't. So I'm probably just gonna be like radio silent until the next. When are we next doing a thing?
I don't know. D&D is the next thing. I think Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. That's probably basically it. So please
Sick.
enjoy.
Cool, friend. And last but not least, living up your name. It's Cat Cool. Where can people find you, Cat?
Most easily over on Twitter, where I'm at cat_cool_ with cool spelled like my last name, Kuhl. And also you can find me over at the podcast that I just started Thanksgiving. The 3rd episode comes out today, which is autonomicpodcast.com, with autonomic spelled like the nervous system. It's an all ages actual play set in a game and setting that I've made up with one of my friends. It's Indo-Ecuadorian fantasy. So lots of jungles, places where quicksand might show up.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm Adam Coble. You can find me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost, or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Adam Coble. I'm running straight from this right into another game. I'm going to be playing Things from the Flood, using the Roll20 over on RPG Webby. I'm going to host it on my channel and stuff. You can't find that, but I'll tweet about it and everything. So I'm going to run from this call to that one. Thank you for hanging out and doing the playtest with us. You can find previous episodes of this and all of our other shows on our YouTube channel down below, MS Roll20. Definitely check it out. And we'll be back next time with more hyenas and quicksand and whatever else this playtest has got for us.
Oh my god, hyenas in quicksand?
Yeah, just you wait. It's like a hot tub full of hyenas and quicksand.
And there's one hyenodon at the very bottom that just raises up out of
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm
Spoilers. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye.